Today we're gonna try a super exciting recipe. It's called a crispy Big Mac. And it's kind of like if you were to put a Big Mac and compressed it and made it into a chip. So we're gonna try this recipe and then we're gonna put our own spin on it, and I think we're gonna be trying a taco version. So I was scrolling on Instagram and I saw this reel, and it's by Crispy. It's by Keto Mama Danielle, and she kind of makes a play on a chaffle. If you didn't know, chaffles are very popular in the keto space. They are basically cheese waffles, and here on our channel, we like our chaffles to be crispy and crunchy, and we use things like almond flour and egg whites. It is something that could be used as a crispy bread replacement. And honestly, we're not gonna be using our recipe for chaffles in this. We're gonna be using what she did in her recipe, which is using cheese and ground beef and things like that. We're also gonna be making a keto-friendly Big Mac style sauce to go along with this Big Mac chip, because it's a chip. Sarah said it's not a chip. I think it's a chip. And so many of you guys have been asking when Chocolate Medley is going to be released for the season, and it's out now. And this is one of our favorite things to drink during the cooler months all the way through spring because it is so delicious. So Element is an electrolyte drink mix, and they have amazing flavors. Sarah and I have been drinking Element every single day since 2020, whether it's in water or in our coffee. During the summer months, we enjoy the citrus salt and the grapefruit salt, which are amazing. But during the winter months, pick up a Chocolate Medley. It comes with chocolate chai, chocolate mint, and chocolate raspberry. And each packet of Element contains 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. When you begin keto, you go into something called ketosis. And during that time, you will shed a lot of water. And inside that water are your electrolytes. You will get symptoms like nausea, muscle cramps, headaches, and that's also known as the keto flu. Element replenishes your electrolytes so that you feel better. Right now, Element is offering our Keto Twins community a free sample pack so you can try 8 of their flavors with any purchase. So you can get a chocolate medley and get a free sample pack. In order to get this deal, you must go to drinklmnt.com/ketotwins. So what you're gonna need for this recipe is cheese. We're using Colby Jack cheese because I think that that's what she used in her video. Ground beef. We've already cooked up some ground beef. We're gonna be making 2 different variations of that today. You need pickles, red onion, and of course you're going to need a waffle maker. This is ours. It's a Dash 4-unit mini waffle maker that we use to make chaffles. Sarah and I have been making chaffles here ever since 2020 or 2019. And let me tell you, if you own the little Dash mini waffle maker, that's great. But if you ever want to get into the big leagues, if you ever want to just make your life so much easier, get the one that can make 4 at a time. This thing is such a time saver if you're making several chaffles at a time or something like this, okay? I begged Sarah to get this for almost a year before she did. It's worth it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll leave this linked in the description below. So this recipe is quite different than our original chaffle recipe where we put almond flour with cheese and xanthan gum, and this is just cheese. So it's gonna take a minute for us to get used to how to do this. She just puts like a thin layer of cheese and then the other toppings and then puts a layer of cheese on top. So it's gonna be kind of like in a little assembly line. I'm going to be putting on the cheese first and then follow with the beef, the red onion, and the pickles, and then another layer of cheese on top, and we're gonna close the lid and see what happens. I don't know like what the cooking time for this is gonna be, so we're gonna kind of play it by ear. At the end of the day, it should be able to be easily released from the chaffle maker. If you open the chaffle maker and it's all cheesy, then it's not ready to try to come out yet. Small handful. How's that? Is more or?
I don't know. I would say just do that much for now because we're gonna add more anyway, so it's gonna fill in the gaps.
And then maybe like a teaspoon or?
Maybe more than that.
I just want to make it. I mean, she just puts it on there.
Some onion.
I don't know if I could work at a fast food place.
No.
It's too much pressure. They're very efficient. I'm the opposite of efficient. I'm inefficient. Let's see how it goes.
I guess.
Ready? It looks
Hold on.
pretty good.
Okay.
Please be something. I started to say this thing called please be something. It's that we're putting the effort to try to cook something, so we hope that it's edible at the end. I should put that on a shirt. Please be something. It's kind of motivational. Think about it. Like be
kind.
No.
Oh my Lanta. I think it needs more cheese. Okay, well, it doesn't look okay. Maybe it needs more time.
So I think that the bottoms look fine, but I think it needs more cheese on the top to encircle it, encase it. I also feel like the oil is a lot. We're gonna let these drain on paper towels. I think that they're actually gonna taste pretty good. This time, I think I'm gonna put less filling and more cheese. I'm gonna do less meat.
Maybe spread it evenly a little bit more. Like, don't make a hump out of it. Make
Not
it flat.
a hump.
Yeah.
Like a sprinkle, a hump. Don't make a hump of meat. And then some onion and then pickle. It's hard to sprinkle to an even standard. Okay.
More around the rim, I think. Yeah.
Here we go. Round 2.
Still oily.
Wow, really oily. Whew.
Like Emily's scalp after.
Excuse me.
I think it was better formation of the chaffle though, so. We're just not used to that smell after cooking our waffles,
Yeah.
or chaffles.
No one else seems to be like offended by the smell of like melted cheese like me. I don't know. I love cheese. I just don't like the way the cheese smells. Anybody else? Only me? So next up we're gonna go with our taco chip. And we're gonna be putting some of this taco seasoning in here. This has some carbs in it, about 3 carbs for about 2.5 teaspoons. It's got trace amounts of sugar in it. So we're gonna be putting it into the ground beef and into the cheese to give it a taco flavor. Like that or more? It's probably like half a teaspoon. And then maybe half a teaspoon of this, or?
Sure.
It's like a carb or 2. I don't even know. And we're gonna be making many chaffles with this. Just kind of, we're gonna mix it into here.
It already smells like a taco.
We're gonna go in with a similar thing. We're not gonna be putting the pickles in, but we're gonna go with cheese mixed with the taco seasoning, red onion, and then ground beef. I'm gonna start in the back. I have a feeling the stuff from the top goes to the bottom anyway. You know?
It melts all around everything,
Yeah.
I think. But you just want a nice foundational layer of cheese, I think.
Next up.
Taco meat. Might be good with some chorizo, too.
All right, here we go. Encapsulate as best as you can. 4 minutes.
Be careful
it
with
looks-
this. Maybe unplug it. Be careful.
It's like lava. It's like working with lava. Ah! They don't show this in the video. Okay. Okay, so this is how we clean our chaffle maker.
Unplugged.
Unplugged. We put a little soap, a little water.
It's unplugged.
Oh my God. The steam is gonna help all that stuff break apart. This is not the only way that you're gonna clean it though. Look at the bubbles.
It's just the initial, yeah.
So if you're gonna be making chips, you might as well make a dip. For our Big Mac chips, we're gonna be making Big Mac sauce. And then for our taco chip, we're gonna use some sour cream and a little bit of salsa. We're gonna go with some Dukes, maybe a teaspoon, mustard, heaping relish, splash of white vinegar, some paprika, salt, pepper. That's what I'm doing.
Maybe do a squirt of ketchup in there. Sugar-free.
Sugar-free ketchup, why not? Just
No
a-
sugar added, actually.
It's 1 carb. There you go. It's about
Makes a
5,000
lot.
calories worth of
It's
cheese.
good for a party platter, I guess.
I don't think anybody's gonna.
The beef waffle.
It's a beef waffle.
Chaffles are one of those things that only keto people will get.
Right.
And everybody else will be like, what is that abomination?
So on this side we have our Big Mac chips with a Big Mac sauce, way too much of it. Next to that we have some salsa, some sour cream, and our taco chips. I've never seen so many different ingredients inside of a chaffle. Okay, well let's just try it on its own. It does taste like a Big Mac. It does.
Very crispy.
I get the pickle, I get red onion, I get the beef in the ground beef in every bite.
Well, we were wondering if we should season the meat. And I think that the cheese kind of is naturally salty, so I just felt like maybe we shouldn't. Just with my experience of cooking cheese like this before, that if you add a lot of salt, it can be like overly salty. So yeah,
Really
it's very
good.
crispy. Let's dip it in the sauce.
We shared a womb, we can share a sauce.
That really solves it. That's a Big Mac, you know, the sauce.
It tastes just like a Big Mac. I mean, it's not carnivore, but it's close because you have like a little bit of pickle and you have a little bit of onion. I bet you're talking about like a trace amount of carbs, maybe like 1 net carb, 1.5 net carb, but really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes way better than it looks. And when I opened that waffle maker for the first time, I was appalled. I couldn't believe what it looked like, but the more I eat it, the more I like it.
I think that the sauce adds a lot. If you don't have the sauce, it kind of is like, what am I eating?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. You can even put a little lettuce on there, a little tomato. Tomato, that sounds like my grandma would say.
So I want to continue eating this, but we're going to try our taco variant. Okay, I know I overdid it with the sour cream. It lightly smells like taco mix.
We should eat it without.
Oh.
Tastes very similar to that.
You don't get the taco mix at all?
A little bit.
But how about with a little bit of sour cream and a little bit of fire roasted salsa?
What?
It's a lot.
It's hot?
No, it's a lot in my mouth.
I can't hear what you're saying. Mm-hmm.
So they're different vibes for sure. I think we could have gone heavier on the taco seasoning if we really wanted it to be full-on taco.
Yeah.
It's subtle because we didn't want to add too much of it. But even if you just added some more like cumin or something in here,
But even then, adding the salsa and the sour cream, it kind of lends itself to a taco. So you kind of get that flavor anyway. I like the Big Mac one better.
Really?
Yeah. I like the sauce. I think it's really tasty. Although, I feel like this is missing some green. It just needs a sprinkling of green. Yeah, but like, it's just so brown that I think that it's just not appetizing looking. Like, if it had a little lettuce on there.
Do you think that lettuce is going to stay on there when you eat it? It's going to fall out everywhere.
I just meant like, you eat with your eyes first. I think a little bit.
Close your eyes.
No, I'm glad we tried these. If you guys have any other Chaffle recipes or chip recipes that you want us to try, let us know. We're always open to discovering new ways to use our Chaffle maker. So YouTube seems to think you're gonna like this video, so why don't you click on it and find out, and we'll see you over there. Anyway, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Emily.
And we are the Keto Twins signing out.
It's like working with lava.